today. But first and foremost, before I get going, my heart goes out to everyone out there. This is a really challenging time. We're kind of going into unknown territory right now. And now more than ever, it's so important that we're just taking care of ourselves, our minds and our bodies. And, we've been doing something here at Planet Places, as you guys know, people that follow us on, Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook. We've been all about gardening and living walls specifically, and really helping people learn about that and teach people how to do it. And what I wanted to talk about today is we have been kind of undercover working on a very special project, sort of in beta, if you will, with a number of customers. And we're sort of unveiling it, and we wanted to unveil it this spring. And, it's super weird that we're in this time right now with the coronavirus. Certainly wasn't expecting to be doing it in the middle of this. But as people have been saying to me, Christy, your product and what you're doing is probably more appropriate now than ever. And, about basically, growing your own food and healthy food at that. And so what I want to talk about today is kind of, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? Because it is a change. It's a kind of an expanded direction for us. And, why are we doing it? What is it? And then what can you expect from us going forward? Because we've got a lot of exciting things planned. And, like I said, we've been undercover working on all this stuff. But kind of the first thing is kind of why are we doing this? So as you know, Planted Places has always been about the ornamental walls, right? We've done the succulent walls and the leafy walls, and we have a website where we send you guys stuff. And it's always been about teaching. But I have to tell you, as I've been doing that, I've been thinking, God, I want to have more impact, and I want to reach more people. And I really want to do it. What can I do? And really, for me, the epitome of that was growing your own food on a beautiful wall. I think it's having beautiful living walls completely changes your home, indoor or out. And what is the epitome of that? Producing, growing your own food, and then consuming that. And year-round, that's changing because it changes with the season. So that was really kind of the vision of what I wanted to do. But okay, here's the problem, which is, this is just me and this is who I am. I love to garden, but I actually do not know how to grow food. And what's really interesting is, this is a really cool stat that I don't know if people know, but 35% of U.S. households grow food in their own home. And the reason why they do it is because they want the healthiest food that they can have that tastes better. And so I thought, oh my God, if 1 in 3 of us is doing this, why don't I know how to do this? And why aren't more people doing it? It's exciting that a lot of people are doing it, but I bet a lot of that is people growing, basil or thyme in a pot, on their patio. Because, it requires space. When you have raised beds, it requires a lot of space. It requires a lot of knowledge, which we'll talk about. And it can take time, especially if you don't know what you're doing. So let me go back to the basil grown in the pot. I'm embarrassed, but I was the gardener who'd go to the nursery, and I would pick up basil and I'd put it in a pot, and it would be great for 2 weeks. And then it would now I know what it means. It would bolt. It would start getting flowers. I didn't know what to do. I thought, oh, that's pretty. Do I keep the flowers? And then it would get that black stick. It would never work. So I thought, all right, I want to do this, and I got to figure out how to do this, because I want to be the person. I want to be you. I want to be the person who doesn't know how to do it and wants to learn. So the first thing I did is I said, I got to go to the experts. So I'm going to do a shout out to Steve Masley, Grow It Organically, and Pat Brown. Those guys are awesome. If you're not following them on Instagram, you should follow them, because they are so knowledgeable and they're so great. And we are strategic partners, and we're doing this together. And I got introduced to him. He loves what we're doing. He's like, oh my God, this is awesome that you want to do this. And so this is about 1.5 years ago, and we went into literally test mode, and we tested literally over 250 different varieties in the wall. And what we were looking for is color. We were looking for texture. We kind of wanted different texture going on. You got these awesome kale. And we wanted colors, texture. We wanted variety. And we wanted to find different seedlings, everything organic. That's pivotal. Everything organic. We wanted to find that and figure out, how do you make it grow successfully for everybody? And so that was a big. So what was so exciting is for the year and a half I've been doing this, and we've brought in customers about 9 months ago now, and to really start testing this for us. And it's been wildly successful, so now we want to bring it to people. So let me kind of explain to you to what it is. So it's really a vertical gardening ecosystem that makes it super easy to successfully grow the healthiest and best tasting organic produce in living soil. So that's the key, guys. It's soil. We're using soil. So a lot of times you see this and you think it's hydroponics because maybe, you look, there's water running through here. But no, we're using living soil. And that is the key because you want that microbial activity. Steve has taught me everything I know. And you want that microbial activity. You want the nematodes. You want all that kind of good bacteria and bad bacteria working together. And what's happening is that's happening at the roots in that soil. And the roots are just bringing that into the leaves, which is why these things people tell me it's plastic, but it's actually not. It's why it looks so vibrant because we've got such healthy soil, such a healthy plant. Helps fight off disease and pests as well. So that's exciting. So what is this? There's 3 components to the ecosystem. First thing is basically kind of the farm wall. We'll call it a farm wall, organic farm wall, because it's a wall. It's not a tower. It's not something like you put on your shelf. I mean, it stands up and it moves. It's on wheels. So you can see that. It's on wheels. And it's got everything you need because it's got the water basin here. It's about 9 gallons of water in there. And then it's piped with irrigation. So the irrigation goes through the pots and it recirculates. And the cool thing is it doesn't take any space because it's basically like it takes up the space of a person standing. So that was key, right? Because a lot of people, remember I said earlier, it's knowledge, but it's space. A lot of people don't have space. And they might have space, but it's sitting in the shade, right? And if you're going to grow food, you have to have sunlight. And so you need to be able to move it around to the ideal spot. And that changes during the year. So that's the first one. The second thing that we're doing with this ecosystem is it's a subscription service. And so that's key because see over here, this is so cool. These are the organic seedlings that we're growing. So we're starting out with grow it organically because we're figuring out the right system. What type of soil are we going to, how do we create that living soil? And then we're going to obviously be expanding to more growers. But what we're going to send you is we send you seedlings and soil amendments for the living soil and soil as you need it and all the other ingredients so that you're successful year round. And the cool thing is we kind of know because we got all these test gardens, there's more behind you, we know what happens at what times of the year. So we're kind of out there ahead of it. Like when we went into January, we're like, ooh, powdery mildew, and we're right on top of that. So that gets us to the third component, which is guidance, like custom guidance. That is so key because remember I said I didn't know what I was doing, but now look at what I am doing, which is kind of cool. And that is because it's the custom guidance. So we work really closely with Steve and Pat and other experts to really understand what do we need to be doing with the living soil to keep that alive and vibrant, and when do we need to be changing out seedlings and what seedlings work in winter and January versus what's going on in April. It's all different, right? Versus August. So all of that's super important, and that's where that custom guidance is. So it's kind of like one of these things where it's 100 degrees, it's July, and you've got your wall out there like, boom, we need to tell you, what do you need to do? Because it's 100 degrees. Like that's, it's in the Bay Area and 100 degrees is hot for these seedlings. What do you do? So we're kind of on top of that. So that's kind of, what this is. And you could tell I'm excited about it. Because the cool thing about it and why I'm so excited about it is because it's all about health, right? And so the funny thing is I've got 3 boys. And now what happens is my 16-year-old comes out every morning and he walks over here and he picks some chard, he gets some kale and some parsley, and he puts it in scrambled eggs every morning. Crazy, totally crazy, but he loves it. And he's like, Mom, how come salad, like when you make a salad at night, how come salads don't normally taste like this? He's like, I didn't know salads could taste so good. So this is a big component of it when you think about it. Like you want to bring that into your family so that where it's coming from. It's healthy, it's organic, but all that's so important. But let me finish up because I know everybody probably wants to get back to their day and doing their thing. I really want to tell you what to expect from us. So the cool thing about what we really want to be doing, which is what I'm so excited about, is we want to educate you so you know how to do this and why it's important. So we're going to be talking about a lot of different things with you as we go through and go forward from now. One of them, first and foremost, of course, is how the heck do you do this, right? How do you grow food in your home using living soil? Okay, that's super important. How do you do that? How are you successful at different times of year? I mean, there's a million topics you can imagine in that area. The other one is like health. So what is it about kale? What are the minerals that are in here that make it really important? And how can I use it? Like some people say, I don't like kale. So it's like, you know what though? First off, this kale, let me tell you, does not taste like any kind of kale you're used to. It's so rich and creamy almost. It's crazy. But the idea there is like, how do you do it? Smoothies, put it on some scrambled eggs, so many different areas. So we'll talk about that. We want to talk to personal chefs and celebrity, like local chefs, bring them in, do interviews with them. They're super excited about this. Sustainable farming. We're going to teach you how to compost. That's super important. This soil has something called biochar in it, and that's really important. The thing lasts for thousands of years, but you have to recondition. You have to compost it. So that's all about kind of circular farming. So we're going to teach you guys about that. There's other things that I don't even remember that I was going to say about that. But it's just, all of it is so important. It's exciting. You're going to see my face. You're going to see Anna, who is a horticulturist on our staff, who is so awesome, and she loves what she's doing. And we're going to, we're working on chest gardens. We're finding things that are important, and we're sending it back to you constantly. So excited to start this. Excited to have you on the journey. And DM us, Planted Places. DM us if you have any questions, if there's specific topics you want us to be covering in the future. Absolutely. And check out our website, plantedplaces.com. Right now we're in the Bay Area and we're doing that, but we're obviously going to be expanding very, very soon. But the idea is we really want to nail the climates that we're in, because it's really important, because again, it's all about easy and successful, healthiest produce you can have. So very good. But thank you so much. Again, reach out to us, and I'm really looking forward to establishing relationships with you guys as we go forward. Okay.